What's the most heartless way your parents played favorites? My brother Daniel broke my spine when I was 17, pushed me down the stairs during an argument about him stealing from my college fund. 3 vertebrae fractured, permanent nerve damage. My parents told the police I'd jumped. The security camera showed otherwise. Our neighbor's Ring doorbell captured Daniel following me to the stairwell. The push, my scream, him walking away while I lay motionless. But my parents had already given statements. I was suicidal, they said. Troubled, had threatened to hurt myself. Daniel had tried to stop me. From my hospital bed, paralyzed from the waist down, I watched my parents coach Daniel on his story. How I'd been depressed. How he'd begged me not to jump. How he'd tried to grab me but failed. Mom cried on cue during the police interview. Dad comforted Daniel as he lied about my mental state. The neighbor showed me the footage while my parents were getting coffee. Clear as day. Daniel's hands on my back, the force of the push, him checking his phone while I bled on the concrete. She'd already given it to police, but they said family testimony outweighed neighbor surveillance. Daniel was Harvard bound, full ride for lacrosse. My parents' golden boy who'd overcome dyslexia to become valedictorian. I was just smart, no sports, no glory, just straight A's and a small scholarship to state school. Not worth protecting compared to Daniel's potential. The prosecutor wanted to charge Daniel with attempted murder. My parents hired him a $50,000 defense attorney, paid for it by selling my grandmother's jewelry, the set she'd left specifically to me, used my inheritance to defend the person who'd paralyzed me. They testified at his trial. Under oath, swore I'd been planning suicide for months, presented a forged diary they'd created, entries about wanting to die, showed poems I'd written for English class about sadness, claimed they were suicide notes. My mother sobbed about finding me cutting myself. Never happened. My father discussed my supposed eating disorder, also fictional. Daniel took the stand, cried about failing to save his sister, said he'd grabbed for me but missed, said he still had nightmares about my scream. The jury acquitted him in 2 hours. He went to Harvard that fall while I learned to catheterize myself. My medical bills exceeded $2 million. Insurance wouldn't cover it. They classified it as a suicide attempt based on the court testimony. My parents refused to correct the record. They said Daniel's future mattered more than money. I could declare bankruptcy, start over. Daniel couldn't survive a felony conviction. They remodeled the house instead of making it wheelchair accessible. Said I'd be walking soon. No need for permanent changes. Moved my bedroom to the basement where I couldn't access the bathroom without help. Made me dependent on them for everything while they attended Daniel's lacrosse games. The neighbor kept trying, gave the footage to news stations, posted it online. But my parents were convincing grieving parents, and I was the troubled daughter who'd tried to kill herself. The narrative was set. Daniel was the hero brother traumatized by my selfish act. I recorded them once, discussing the truth. Mom admitted she knew Daniel pushed me. Dad said it didn't matter. I'd never walk again either way. Daniel laughed about getting away with it. Clear audio of the conspiracy after the fact. Gave it to the police. They said it was inadmissible, recorded without consent in a 2-party state. Daniel graduated summa cum laude. My parents framed his diploma, hung it over my old spot at the dinner table. Started medical school at Johns Hopkins. He said about becoming a doctor to help people like his poor sister who tried to take her own life. I lived in their basement for 3 years before a disability advocate helped me escape. Got me into subsidized housing, helped me file for support. My parents fought it, said if I was capable of living independently, I didn't need their money. The judge agreed. I got nothing. They visit Daniel monthly in Baltimore, drive past my apartment without stopping, send Christmas cards with his achievements. He's engaged to another doctor. They're planning a destination wedding in Hawaii. The bride doesn't know her fiancé paralyzed his sister. Last month, Daniel was named to Forbes' 30 under 30 for his spinal cord research. The irony isn't lost on me. He's studying the paralysis he caused, using my injury as inspiration, he told the interviewer. His sister's tragedy motivated his career. My parents sent me the article, highlighted the quote where Daniel called me his hero, added a note saying I should be proud of inspiring such important work, that my accident had a purpose. Daniel was helping thousands of people because of Ed to me. What happened to me, not what he did to me. The neighbor died last year, left me her house and her will, said someone should benefit from having a conscience. It's not wheelchair accessible either, but it has a Ring doorbell. I watch delivery drivers approach, always checking behind them, always expecting a push. Daniel sent a card congratulating me on the house, said he'd love to visit, said we should put the past behind us, said family is forever. I had my lawyer send him the video. The one his lawyers claimed was too blurry to show intent. The one our parents said was misinterpreted. The one that clearly shows him checking his Harvard acceptance email while I bled out below. He hasn't responded, but I know he watched it. They always watch the evidence of what they've done.